Coming up today on the Village Idiom.
I listened to the Village Idiom podcast and all I got was a bum tickle from a fly.
Dum dum da da, Village Idiom.
Hello and welcome to the Village Idiom,
A podcast that takes a popular saying and wrecks it for you by telling you about its origins and makes a really fun saying kind of boring.
No one
with its
wrecks stuff
history.
like us.
we could demolish that saying. And as usual, we'll use it to hang our conversation on.
Speaking of wrecking stuff, have you ever just wrecked a moment, like intentionally?
Like I've wrecked conversations. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, just like there's something going on.
You
or
know
it's just,
about my
it's real heartfelt
Stanley
and,
Park squirrel moment wrecker, right?
No, tell me.
So I'm just when you get in those conversations where everyone's like,
Stanley Park squirrel wrecker.
not like that, where there's like, oh, somebody tells a story and then they're like, oh, well, this happened to me. And they all got similar stories like, oh, yeah, well, this happened to me. And no matter what it's about, it'll be about like their mom, what they got her for Christmas. So my mom got me this. My mom got me this. And I'll go, one time I was at Stanley Park in Vancouver, BC. And there's this spot. If you just sit real still with breadcrumbs, a squirrel will come right up on your lap and eat right out of your hand. And I'll just stop like that. And it's a real story. So it makes people, even though you've just grinded the gears into a new topic, most people are just like, oh cool, man. Cool. Nobody's
So we're so good at friends. I'm like, what does that have to do with anything?
exactly. Yeah. You just like, I'll just throw it in there.
Oh, there's nothing like wrecking a conversation.
Yeah, I do it.
That feeling of that, just that look on people's faces.
Just blank.
Confusion.
Like they're so nice. They're
He's
not
gonna
going to
bring it around.
What are you saying?
He's going to bring it around.
No.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he'll eat right out of your hand. It's a true story. I did it.
It's amazing.
That's how you kill a conversation. Have people just leave. How do you empty a room?
You got to get rid of them one by one.
You put the Village Idiom podcast on speaker. What are you playing?
It's funny because my kids will like, hey, let's listen to
The podcast?
Let's listen to the podcast. I could just watch my wife, just like, okay, here we go. Support dad. Watch one. It's like, hey, let's listen to the next one, and we missed it. It's like, okay, maybe we can move on to something else. She's like, just so done.
Well, see, my wife and I, we sit on the couch, cuddle up, and just put it on the YouTube version so we can watch it as well. And we just eat snacks and rub each other's backs.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how we enjoy the Village Idiom.
That'll wreck a conversation. Then like wrecking a mood. People are bailing out of a conversation. It is amusing at a party when you can come into a party situation. Have you ever entered into a conversation and watched people just walk away?
Yes, you're like, what? Oh.
Is it me? I think it might be me.
I don't know if that's better or worse than walking into a conversation where nobody leaves but the conversation ends. You're like, sorry.
Everything starts falling off.
Should I go? Like, were you guys in the middle of something?
All the people start bailing.
Yeah.
It reminds me of an idiom.
It does. And it goes a little something like this.
Mind what mind? The shivers are our most important funereal out. A big, enormous family, and they're dropping off like flies.
They're dropping off like flies. And there it is, dropping like flies.
Dropping like flies.
That's what we're going to talk about today.
I've got a real fly kind of phobia as it relates to outhouses.
You do? This is interesting already.
So I've had a couple disturbing type outhouse things. I had one outhouse where I went in to do my business and you drop trowel and you get ready to do your thing. And I got a bum tickle.
No.
From a fly.
Okay, good.
I got a bum tickle from a fly, and now this is so terrible.
That's a t-shirt right there.
I have to take my phone and turn the flashlight on.
That's going to be one of our merchandise t-shirts. I got a bum tickle from a fly. I listened to the Village Idiom podcast and all I got was a bum tickle from a fly.
I have to turn on the flashlight and look down the hole.
Of course.
And so the other part that relates to that was, you probably remember, were you an X-Files fan?
No, I wasn't actually.
Okay, I was deep in every
I started
episode.
recently because I'm like, I feel like I missed this train and I should know it.
Perhaps you've seen this one where there's some sort of fluke monster, some kind of suction, uber white fluke monster with like a
Fluke like the fish, or
No,
fluke
fluke
like
like-
it accidentally happens?
No, fluke like as in a leech. A fluke,
A fluke is a leech?
isn't it?
A fluke is a fish.
No, it's like a leech.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it has kind of like that leechy mouth, and it was like, like a man.
I've never wanted to reach for Google so much as right now.
Don't reach for Google. In case
Hey, Google, what's a fluke? Not much.
The
What?
definition
Oh.
of fluke: an unlikely chance occurrence,
Oh.
especially a surprising piece of luck.
No, that kind of fluke. And this fluke monster was in the toilet in the outhouse.
This is terrifying.
Exactly. And so once that happened, and then the suction guy came and emptied the toilet system at the outhouse, and the fluke monster got into the city's kind of sewer system. But it started off in the outhouse area. And so as a result, I have to look
Totally.
down an outhouse hole
Yeah.
before I do my business, because I'm thinking that a fluke monster is going to just reach on and...
Okay, this is. I never got a tickle from a fly, but speaking of outhouses,
Okay.
and naturally flies are there. But I had cousins and aunt and uncle who temporarily, when I was quite young as a kid, they lived on a mountain, and that's all I really remembered. Like, I remember my parents going, "We're going to your uncle's mountain. We're going up there." Like, okay. And so they were off the grid, like a trailer in the mountain with an outhouse and a stream. And like, I guess they had electricity, but I don't even remember that. I just know it was outhouse living.
Okay.
And this was their everyday life.
Okay.
Anyway, we were young kids running through the woods, getting stung by nettles. And like, it was fun that way. Like, you're living in the woods. Like, we had fun there. But my little cousin, they had kittens around, and all of a sudden there's this yelling and what's going on, and we go up
Okay.
there, and she had taken this little orange tabby kitten, like tiny,
Okay.
and tossed it into the outhouse.
Oh, that's not
like,
good.
why? I don't know. You know, kids. I don't know.
I don't know why I did
I
that.
don't know why I did that. So my dad and my uncle trying to figure out, like, I'm not going down there. I'm not going down there.
Did you
I'm
just
not
let
going
the
there.
kitten meow till it
So
stops
they
meowing?
got a big 2x4 and
Okay.
just stuck it in the toilet all the way down and hoped that thing would climb up, and eventually it did. Just like
That's
as
disgusting.
nasty as you imagine that kitten to be.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, there's my outhouse story. That make you want to leave the conversation?
Well, if I was tickled on the bum by a kitten in an outhouse, I'd be like, what happened here? It sounds like one of those riddle stories like you tell around a campfire. Like,
At
explain
that
how this
outhouse,
happened.
in that outhouse, kittens were dropping like flies, like turds.
Gross. Kittens are dropping like turds. That's not a saying. That should be a
That
saying.
should be a saying. Kittens are dropping like turds. That's next week's episode. Next week's idiom. Dropping like turds.
Yeah, so
Yeah. Anyway, we derailed a little bit. The idiom is dropping like flies, or which basically, in just its actual meaning, is the rapid collapse or disappearance or death of a group.
right.
Could be people. It doesn't have to be death. It just the disappearance, like the conversations we were talking about. If you bring up a story and a group of 20 people just start leaving while you're telling your story, they're dropping like flies. You're losing
Yes.
them. Yeah.
I
That's how it's used.
I had a good example of this. Were you at the camp where we were a bunch of families? We were camping up in Cultus, and
I know exactly what you're talking about, and all fingers point at you and your family.
my family, I think it was called the M6 to C3 virus,
M6.
because there's 6 McLarens
Oh.
that managed to wipe out an
6 people in
entire.
your family.
We wiped out an entire camp
It was amazing
with
to
some.
watch.
Yeah, it was
I
like
dodged it. I didn't get sick, but I remember just going, should we pull the plug on this whole family
'cause
outing?
there's like a whatever, like
What?
80, 100 people or something like that, and it was like bam, gone, wah, wah, dysentery, puke, wah, wah, gone.
and then
Next,
some
next,
who
next.
just fearfully left.
Yeah,
Like, we
people
can't.
just-
We don't want our kids to get sick. Yeah,
It was
you
fu-
guys took.
It was like
out-
watching Outbreak, except we were like the AIDS monkey. Like, it's just like bad things were happening. It was crazy.
That was. I do remember that.
It's like
Yeah.
I saw Planet of the Apes. This is how it starts. Some guy sneezing and taking a jet plane.
There's no way it was like you guys, but it sure looked like it.
Yeah, because ours were the first.
Yeah.
I think we woke up like in the night, and like one kid is like, I'm not.
But the
I'm not
problem
good," with,
is,
like, covered in
if it
sick.
was actually you guys, the problem is kids are resilient. They're like, "Oh, I'm sick. I'm going out to play."
You're right.
And so if it was,
No, I think they woke up like covered in their own sickness.
oh really?
Yeah.
It
We
was
went
pretty
and cleaned
bad.
them up, and then
It's even worse
rest of our
camping,
kids
right?
were dropping, and then it was terrible.
If you haven't turned this episode off yet, kittens
We're
covered in crap and
Let's turn this ship around.
fly tickles and sickness, man. Oh,
So yeah, that's dropping like flies. But
Yeah.
do you have any idea even where this comes from?
well, you know what? We always like to dig into the origins, and this one was a struggle, but
I said some words. Where'd they go? Where'd they go? No one can know. I turned around and looked behind. Those words came from another mind. Origins.
woo, origins. Well, the sad news is that song is the most we're gonna get out of origins.
There's some slim pickings on origins.
Yeah, the origin of the phrase "dropping like fries," dropping like flies, is unclear. However, it might come. I'm reading. This is the origins I got.
It is slim.
However, it sounds like it might come from either the short lifespan of a fly or the fragile life that they have.
That's the
and
end of
every
it.
site you look up, that's the whole thing.
Because a male fly will live potentially 33 days, and a female fly potentially 26 days.
That's right. And so I was going to ask you about this because a lot of our listeners might know, because of our contact information, 3 Minutes Gone, the background of 3 Minutes Gone and the YouTube channel that you put out was about wasting time and essentially wasting the lifespan of certain things. And so you're a little bit knowledgeable in the lifespan of insects, and or at least a handful.
Certain bugs. We were trying to waste see if we could waste the time equivalent of one life in 1 year.
One human life.
One human life in 1 year. So it was like going to be this impossible task, but just the idea of how much time gets spent online. So along the way, we would have certain markers like you killed like a tsetse
You
fly.
spent enough time on this
You
channel.
killed a
to kill it.
dragonfly.
Yeah.
Way to go, guys. Yeah, we killed like a honeybee or something like that. People got weird, upset about that.
That you killed a honeybee?
A fake
Even though
honeybee?
it's virtual?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
They're important. Well,
Honeybees
okay.
are hard to find now, and you're
Not like I'm
killing them willy-nilly.
disrupting the food chain. It's digital, man.
I'm just watching YouTube.
So,
Killed a bee.
So a male will live 33 days or up to 33 days and 26 days for a female. Just came off of a crazy camping trip, and of course, just bugs are going to get into the trailer.
Sure, yeah.
That's how that goes. There is only a couple like crazy things that will drive me insane trying to go to bed at night when there's something flying around.
In your ear.
How do they find your ear at night? It's like, it's dark, man.
It's crazy. I know that feeling where you just like, then the lights come on. No sign of it.
Where is that thing?
As soon as the lights go off. Like, really? So then you leave the lights on and lay down.
I'm going to watch
Nothing.
it.
Nothing.
It's the flashlight where you shine the flashlight in one spot and hope they're attracted
Yeah,
to it.
yeah.
They just go on a killing spree. So what's one worse than the is the you're like a mosquito.
Yeah.
Like, I can't go to sleep with this here because I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna be like all puffy and weird because it's gonna eat all my blood.
It's going to fluke suck you. That's a shirt. Okay, so on the topic of flies, this has nothing to do with anything. I had an idea. If there's any animators out there, I want you to contact me, and I'm recording it to prove this is my ideas.
Okay.
My idea. So, in bed, and there's this sign on our wall. It says "Time flies." I can't even.
When you're having fun, you
No,
get the sign that says time flies. when
Time
you're
flies, so
having
enjoy the moment, or something like that.
fun. In your bedroom.
Anyway, the way
I'm
I
not
was
here to
laying,
judge you.
I couldn't see it all. All I could
Okay.
see was time flies.
Time flies.
And just being the nerd I am with words and whatever, I started reading it not as time flies, fill in the blank, but time flies. And all of a sudden pictured like this group of ninja or soldier-like
interstellar flies.
flies who can travel through time.
They're time flies.
They're time flies. And so pictured like the Mutant Ninja Turtles of flies who can travel through time, and you find out how involved they've been throughout the things they've stopped through history. But
It's like Quantum Leap for insects.
So Quantum Leap, but if they come back, because of their short lifespan, is so limited if they're in their own time frame. So as long as they're traveling, like eternal life almost, solving problems, fighting crime, stopping Hitler, whatever. Like there, you see some scene of somebody swatting at them, but hits the button that blows up something else, and how they've affected all of history. But
it sounds like actually a great comic.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Sometime they have to come back to their own time zone, and it's just like this 33-hour clock ticking down whenever they come to their own time frame.
Time flies.
Time flies.
I like it. I really like it.
I'm getting excited about it. I
comic
need
series
an animator
called Time Flies.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then, subtitled with when do you read Time Flies? When you're having fun. Time flies when you're having fun.
Time flies. I think you're onto something.
I want to make it.
That's a good comic.
I want to make it.
Time flies.
So, not a joke, not a riddle. I want to make Time Flies.
It's like such a misuse of science.
It really is. Everything about it is. What a waste. Okay, so I can tell you this, not about origins, but an early recording of this phrase is written in an article from the Atlanta Constitution newspaper in 1902 under the subheading, "Men and Women Dropped Like Flies in Flames." And it read this: "I saw women and men rushing back and forth amid the flames for an hour. They would run along, then came to the choking smoke, and they would drop like dead flies." So that's the oldest in print or recording. I guess it's in print. And that came from, so details of that quote actually come from some volcanic eruption that was over the town of St. Pierre on that year. So it was actually real. They were dropping from the smoke.
Wow.
Like flies, which I don't think smoke, you can freeze a fly. You can smoke out the bees.
You can smoke a fly, but getting the papers around him are really...
You beat me to my joke because I was going to talk about bees.
Is this your actual joke?
Yeah, I was going to go, the hardest part about smoking a bee is not getting stung on the lips.
That was your joke?
That was my joke. Hardest part about smoking bees
I would have shut up.
is not getting stung on the lips.
That's interesting.
But you've heard of freezing flies.
You were on holidays. There was a barbecue on Sunday.
Yeah.
And a woman who was present making burgers, and she was like chitty-chatting, whatever. Bee flew into her burger without her knowledge. Without knowing.
Keep going.
Ow.
Really?
Bit it in half and whatever, and it stung her right on the tongue.
Get out of here.
True story. Just happened.
No way.
Yeah. It's like, I need to get some ice. I'm like, I felt so bad for her.
That is my biggest fear with having an open can of pop in the summer. I always, you're laying there, closing your eyes because you're in the sun or whatever. I always put something over my pop because my biggest fear is just to take the next swallow.
You know what could prevent a tragedy like that? A time fly.
Exactly.
We need a
time flies.
He's stopping people from getting stung in the
mouth.
No,
freezing flies. If you catch a fly, a living fly, look around your windowsill, catch a fly, put them in a baggie.
This sounds like a lot of
put
effort.
it in the freezer.
Okay.
For 5 or 10 minutes, and they hibernate. They shut down.
Okay.
And you can reanimate. Apparently, magicians have done this, where they're pretend to have scooped up some dead flies and then, warm them up and breathe life into them, and they fly away. And people are But the truth is, you can freeze them, and they'll stay frozen for about twice the length it takes to put them to sleep in there.
Wow.
So 10 minutes in the freezer, and you've got 20 minutes of a fake dead fly, and it'll reanimate, come to life, and fly away.
I wonder if it works with animals.
Do you know
a puppy?
Do you know how to make
I was trying
a
to
dog
do it
sound like a cat?
Oh no! Is this one of those set it on fire jokes?
No, that's cruel. You put the dog in the freezer.
Okay.
Till it's frozen solid. Then you get a circular saw. Meow.
You want to make a cat sound like a dog?
Is he gonna light it on fire?
Yeah. Woof. These are terrible.
Okay, but
it's like flashbacks to grade 6 right now.
I saw on YouTube this guy. So I'm like, can you really freeze a fly? I'm looking this up, and so sure enough, baggie in the freezer, freezes the fly, then takes the little ribbon from a Hershey's Kiss, that super light paper that says Hershey's, and writes a little note on it, ties it to the leg of the fly while it's in this comatose state, and then puts it. He's in a cubicle office workspace kind of place, and waits till it comes back to life, and it flies away, pulling a little sign, like an airplane with a sign behind it, flying around the office.
You've seen this
on YouTube.
Wow, that's amazing.
And it's real. Like
they should do like a "Will you marry me?"
So you see this fly coming back to life, pulling a sign, and everyone's trying to figure out. You see all the other people trying to figure out, what does it say? What does it say?
Catch the fly. That's
I don't
cool.
even remember what it said, but
That sounds like a worthy endeavor.
So speaking of freezing flies and smoking out bees, here's one for you.
I started my own company, Michael B. Company.
I have a big company. You stole my idea?
I did not steal your. We sell. It would take hours. How's that going, by the way?
Not so good. I've been keeping the bees in my apartment. I was using my magic smoke on them. And my bees are dropping like flies.
There it is. His bees are dropping like flies.
That's fantastic.
You know what that is.
Yeah, that's Arrested Development for sure. Michael Bluth.
You have a bee company? Yeah. No, it would take hours. So good.
That show was amazing.
It was good. It was. I don't think I'm caught up on it because it was like on hiatus, and then
Yeah, I don't think it got picked up for and
then Netflix only.
Netflix grabbed it. Yeah.
So there's like a crossover season 4 that's not on Netflix.
I don't
but
know.
is on Netflix. I don't know. There's some.
Yeah, I haven't seen that part of it. I think I'm up to season 2. Anyways,
There's some weird hoodoo with which seasons are legit and not.
it's funny. It's all a good thing. Well, I did prepare a little joke for you.
Okay, give me your joke. Since you ruined mine. Hey, wait. Let me try something again. Do you know what the hardest part about smoking out bees? No, I screwed up the. You know what the hardest part about smoking bees is?
What?
Not getting stuck on the lips.
That's good. I like it. So it was a rough time for the McDonald's company. One McDonald's manager says to another, "I just can't keep employees right now. They're dropping like fries."
Like fries.
Yeah. So when you said that earlier, I was like, I think he's
just-
wrecking my joke.
That was just a got tongue-tied.
Tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips.
Yeah, which is actually true. If you ever look behind the counter, there's fries everywhere on the ground.
Dropping like fries.
Dropping like fries.
I would think it would be a decent youth job.
Youth job?
Yeah.
Picking up the fries?
McDonald's worker guy.
They say
Girl
it's one of
person.
there's other companies that look for, if you're a young person getting a job, they're looking like, did you ever work at McDonald's? Because you've gone through multi-levels of training. McDonald's does it right when it comes to employees.
In which case, dropping like flies isn't a bad thing because you want something that has high turnover. People dropping like fries or flies. Fries or flies.
So in meaning that you've trained them so well, they're moving on with their life?
Or that they've decided that this isn't for them.
Oh,
Or
fair
that-
enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like dropping like flies isn't bad.
Well, you know,
it's like a discovery method.
I get to typically in my job I get to hire in the summer. I usually get to hire some students under government youth employment programs, and that's what that is. Like it is like I hope
Dropping
they're
like
learning
fries.
a lesson. Like I train them, give them some talking.
Have you ever had some just quit partway through?
Yeah, I have. I've had one in particular.
What did you make them do?
One in particular that just came up to me and said, I'm gonna, and it wasn't even 2 weeks notice. Like this is an 8-week program, like government granted. You don't quit it, right? Like it's
Well, apparently you
you've
can.
received a grant
Right.
to have this job.
So the government came along
And
approved this person.
I don't know if you've ever been in my meetings, but I lay it on like this is what you will be doing this summer, and I paint a beautiful picture, but with no exaggeration. Like it's gonna suck some days, it's gonna be super fun some days. These are all the
Right.
jobs you're gonna do.
like a
and I had
job.
this one person just come up to me and go, "This is my last day. This is entirely beneath me."
Oh, this is beneath me?
Can you believe that? That was the words.
Wow.
Like, lie to me at that point.
Just, wow.
Yeah. it was
This is
brutal.
beneath me.
Yeah, it was brutal.
The things that you want me to do, beneath me.
And the people who were her or him, his or her references, heard about all of it, came and apologized. I'm so sorry we recommended this person.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
really?
It was nasty.
Oh, man.
But you know what? The work ethic, man, I'm literally talking about an actual person who I doubt listens to this, but they know who I'm talking about. Their work ethic was at the level that when they said that to me, I was relieved they were leaving.
Oh,
yeah, it went both ways.
You got burned, son. That just happened. Or daughter. Wow. Well, you're just relieved that someone leaves.
Yeah.
You're like dropping like flies. You're like, good.
Yep.
Drop like flies.
Yep. You're gone.
Yeah.
There was no sadness. I was disappointed the way it all played out, but there was no sadness that this person was gone.
So like dropping like flies isn't necessarily bad.
Not in that case.
Right.
But they weren't dropping like flies. That was one person. If they were dropping like fries, see?
It's in your head now.
If they were dropping like fries, I would have been disappointed. Like, I'm like, oh.
Well, dropping like fries should be the good one. Because everyone loves French
Everybody
fries.
loves fries. In fact, you hope one dropped in your bag. That bonus fry, as Jim Gaffigan calls it, right? That bonus fry.
Dropping like fries.
Bonus fry.
Yeah, but if you're just bailing out because it's beneath you, you might have a serious attitude issue.
Did you hear about the airplane that kicked out George, Marty, Lorraine?
No.
They were dropping McFlies.
Yeah.
Some are not worth it. Oh. So what else can we tell them about Origins?
Well, I think that pretty much covers it up. We are heading into the home stretch of today's festivities.
I suppose we are.
Let's give our illegitimate children some riddles to ponder as they do their daily exercise or drive.
Let me tell you how you can get in touch with us, because we're going to give you a riddle that you can answer, but also just get in touch with us. Tell us what you think of the show and what you hate of the show. If you've been stung in the mouth by a bee, we want to hear that story.
I would love to hear it. And somewhere in through the fall, our intent is to perhaps have guests along.
Yes. I actually want to talk to you about that. I got some guest ideas.
Okay, yeah. We've been talking with people, and so our intent is to have some guests along, and perhaps it's you. Please drop us a message via Instagram. At the.village.idiom, or email thevillageidiompodcast@gmail.com, or whether it's Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Look us up on 3 Minutes Gone.
That's 3, the number 3 minutes gone. All right, well, a game we like to play is Riddle Link, where we take a 2-part trivia-based question and require a 2-part overlapping answer. And I've got a couple. You got a couple?
Let me get going so that we can send them home with yours.
I got a good one to leave them.
Okay, good. Riddle Link number 1. And I know, dramatic pause. They are dying off one after another and falling into my balm.
Into your what? Balm? Dropping like flies. Balm. Lies. Eyes. Flies. Ike flies. Flies.
Dying off one after another.
Buttermilk.
And falling into my balm.
Dropping like flies in the buttermilk. Balm. Lip balm.
Falling into my liniment.
Ointment. Flies in the ointment. Oh, it's another saying.
Yes.
Oh, crap. Dropping like flies in the ointment.
Yes.
Man.
I double idiomed you.
Yeah,
that just happened,
did.
son.
What's flies in the ointment is just a nuisance, right?
Yeah, we should save that for another day.
Yeah, I guess we should.
I'm going to say the same one.
That'd be the right thing to do. Same Riddle Link.
What do you got for me?
This one's for you. You might say this about a quickly disappearing group if you were Judy Garland's daughter.
Judy Garland's daughter, is that Liza Minnelli?
Yeah.
Dropping like flies in Minnelli? That's funny. Is she alive, or is she still with us or not?
Yeah, she's on Arrested Development. Sometimes.
Oh, yes. Yes, she's the son's girlfriend. Yeah. Okay,
hey, give me another one.
Listening to others' conversations cause them to get sick one after another.
Eavesdropping like flies. Oh, okay. Yeah. Eavesdropping like flies. Okay. Well, we got one for everyone else out there. And here it is. I'm going to leave this one hanging. I hope you get this one, though. I hope you have the same upbringing and TV watching that I did. Here it is.
Okay.
This Burt Reynolds created Pictionary-style game show had people dying quickly.
Well,
Do you know what that is? Don't
no,
say it. But
no, I think I'm chewing on something, but I don't want to wreck it because this is our send it home one.
That's right.
I really enjoyed our gross conversation. I apologize to our Village Idiom children.
seriously,
We will class it up next time, but I enjoyed it. Hope you did too.
I really did.
I
This is my favorite place to be. Every Thursday morning.
It's like a radio show. I am Skinny,
And I am Jurassic, tickled on the bum by a fly, Mark.
and these are the Village Idioms.
Last 3 minutes gone.